Hey everybody, I'm Fernando. I'm the owner and founder of WARMAG LLC. I wanted to introduce myself and we'll give you a little bit of background on WARMAG LLC and what it entails. There are other products that I make and sell, and some that are under development, but right now what I'm going to focus on is helmets and body armor. So I am a disabled veteran. So it is veteran-owned, small business. So one of the things that WARMAG is going to bring to you is honesty. That's going to be my number one. So even something that might hurt me as far as sales, I'm going to give it to you the way it is and the way it should be, because I believe that's one of the number ones for getting people to buy in with me, and also trust my company and me. And your trust is one of my priorities, and what I value most. So I got a list here of things that I want to talk about. So I did make some tests on some helmets. So as you can see in front of me, I got some helmets that I've gotten or bought and tested. They're different ratings. We've got a Kevlar level 3A helmet. It's got an NSN. This is one of the ones that are officially used by the military, our military. This one is just as new as this one, except it was stored in a really crappy spot, and I've already shot it up. So the other one is a steel helmet, and I'm going to tell you where all these came from in just a second. So I've got little labels of every bullet type that I've put on it so far. You will notice some holes, but pay no attention to that just yet. We're going to get there. I got another steel helmet, and I pulled this one out for a reason. It's not level 3A, but it was advertised level 3A, and again, we're going to touch that topic in a second. And then I've got a level 3 ultra high molecular weight polyethylene helmet. So as you can see, most PE helmets out there that are level 3A, that are pretty popular it seems, are about the thickness of a Kevlar helmet. So level 3, you can see the difference. It's really fat. So it's designed to stop rifle bullets. Now level 3 is higher than level 3A. So now I don't want to get too specific with the types of rifle calibers, but a basic one I went ahead and put through it. It cost about $300, and that was the Chinese retail price, or lowest price that I can get it from China. So you can imagine how much these sell for here. I've seen $700 helmets, if not more. But it looked really well made, and it did stop 7.62 by 39 at 15 meters. Only problem is I'd still be dead, because the deformation and how bad the bullet pushed the material in, well, it would be enough to, one, knock me out, but that would be the least of my worries, because my skull would be shattered, and the back of my head would be at the center of my head, and half my brain smashed in. So I'd probably be severely maimed, if not bleeding internally and dead anyway, with this helmet, if I was to take a rifle shot with it. So it stopped it, but the blunt trauma is still there. So it kind of defeats the purpose in a sense, because you're either going to be severely maimed, brain hemorrhaging or something. It's not going to be pretty, because that force would be is tremendous. So there's level 3 ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. So seeing this, and even I did put a .357 Magnum bullet out of a snub nose on the forehead here. You can see how far it went in. I'll take measurements with a depth caliper and put it on my website, so you know exactly how far it went in. But that alone is too much. That would have done some serious damage to my head, concussion at the least. So, and that's something that nobody wants or needs. So especially in a real life scenario, if you ever really need to employ one of these helmets for some kind of combat, then you're in big trouble, because the minute you take a shot to the head, you're done. You're out of the fight, and that's to say the least. Again, you're going to be maimed, and God knows what else. So that's a level 3 helmet right there. Expensive and useless. because it just, I mean, it stops a bullet, but for what? You're done anyway. Okay. So there's a lot of videos out there. There's people that say Chinesium when it comes to like, okay, this helmet's too good to be true. I saw a video. The helmet was $90 that this guy was talking about. So I saw it come through my feed at $90, and I figured it was too good to be true, Chinesium. I went ahead and bought it. I put a bullet through it, and here's what happened. So it looked like a helmet just like the Kevlar helmet. It was about the same thickness, but it looked like it may have been solid polyethylene plastic. Now, a solid polyethylene plate will not stop a bullet. They're even if it's ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. That's not how it works. It needs to be multiple layers of a ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fabric, and it acts almost like a net, if you will. And I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm not going to get technical with it, to catch the bullet. And a single plate of polyethylene that's solid is not going to work. There's videos out there where a couple people test up to 1/2 inch thick 9mm and it blows right through it. So and a helmet that's a 1/4 inch thick will stop it, but again, just the blunt trauma and how far the material is forced into the helmet would be just detrimental to your head and your skull and your brain. Well, anyway, back to that story of the video. The helmet, every bullet went right through it, and it was advertised as level 3A. And then you could see the plastic shattered off, so I could tell it was solid. And here's another one. So I bought this helmet, just sampling things out there. Also advertised on Amazon at level 3A. I called out this seller because there are a lot of sellers out there, by the way. So you need to be aware where you buy these things from. They might sell them expensive to you, and you think just because it costs money, it's the real deal. No, it's not. So this helmet right here is supposed to be ballistic steel. Well, when I got it, I just laughed because it's the thinnest paper. And somebody who doesn't know any better, just because they call it ballistic steel, that it's bulletproof, they're going to think it's bulletproof. And this isn't to insult anybody's intelligence, but some people know, some people don't. But I'm here to tell you, again, honesty, my number one thing here with the company. I'm going to tell you how it is. This is not bulletproof. This will not stop, I don't think it would even stop a 22. It's that thin. So it's sad that people try to take advantage. Both manufacturers and retailers will try to take advantage of you just to take your money, and they're playing with your life. That pisses me off. So I'm sorry, excuse my language, but it makes me mad. So what I'm doing is, one, I strive for quality, and again, honesty, and bringing you the real deal. So one other thing, there's manufacturers out there that make ballistic mandibles. So I bought this one. It looked legit. It looked really nice before I tore it apart. It was like $140. Again, seemed legit. And when I got it, I was like, it's a little bit too thin to be level 3A. So I knew better. I took it apart. And sure enough, it's 2 layers of fiberglass with resin. That's not bulletproof at all. A 22 wouldn't. I didn't even bother shooting it for what? I mean, it's fiberglass. It's not going to stop anything. So there's, again, people are playing with your life here. But again, with WARMAG LLC in one of my other videos, I talk about how just seeing things like this bother me. So knowing what I know and what I'm capable of, I'm going to design a mandible like this that can be a practical one that could be attached to this steel helmet. That's going to be AR-600 steel material, 1/4 inch thick. It's going to be heavy, but it's going to stop rifle rounds. And so I'm going to deliver in what I'm saying and what I'm going to do. It might take me a minute because it might be a little difficult to achieve, but I'm going to get there eventually. So again, so I just wanted to touch on that subject a little bit of what I'm going to bring. So ballistic mandibles are coming. So just give me some time to get the ball rolling and the design and everything, and then obviously testing and prototyping and stuff. So again, touching back on the polyethylene, now that I remembered, so level 3A, if a level 3 helmet took a 357 Magnum like that and caused that much damage with how thick this is, you're in big trouble if you're relying on a level 3A ultra high molecular weight polyethylene helmet. I saw plenty of videos out there where they put a 9mm through it, and they try to keep the calibers low, it seems, to make the test seem legit. And when it's supposed to be able, level 3A, what that entails, it should be able to stop up to a 44 Magnum. So this is not even a 44 Magnum. That probably would have pushed it in even further. So again, it's just deceptive, misleading, and not cool. So here, these steel helmets are the ones that I'm selling. Of course, there's room for improvement. So there are things that I like about this, and one thing that I don't like about it, but I'm going to mention it anyway. And not that it really matters that I don't like it. It's just I feel like it could be better in one aspect, and by that aspect I mean padding. Anyways, so I hit it here with a 9mm full metal jacket, brass 115 grain round, and it took it very well. From 5 meters, by the way. All these shots were placed at 5 meters. 40 Smith & Wesson 165 grain full metal jacket, and took that very well. I was going to shoot it with 180 grain, but that's slower. It's subsonic. And then there's more energy in a 165 grain round. So I went ahead and took it higher and shot it with that. So to attempt to do more damage, because again, I don't want to under test it and make it seem like it's going to deliver, and it doesn't. Because again, you're playing with your life here in the event that things hit the fan and you got to employ it for a real life scenario. So this hole was made with a rifle bullet. This is not rated for a rifle. NIJ level 3A is not rated for rifles. I just went ahead and shot it because I was curious, and I expected it to go through, but I was still being hopeful. But anyways, level 3 is what's rated for rifles, so not level 3A. So keep that in mind. 38 special. We got 357 Magnum, and the only one handgun I didn't have is a 44 Magnum. Otherwise, I would have tried it. I'm pretty sure it would handle it pretty well, but unfortunately, again, I didn't have that caliber. But at the same time, NIJ standards call for higher velocities, so your bullets would have to be hand loaded on some calibers to achieve those velocities. A standard bullet you buy at even with I guess maybe plus P, but at the same time, that ammunition I don't think would achieve some of those velocities. So it states in the NIJ standards that you may have to hand load some ammunition in order to achieve those velocities. So another thing to be wary about, again, honesty is my number one. So NIJ level 3A certified versus NIJ level 3A, okay, let me rephrase that. So NIJ level 3A standard certified versus meets NIJ level 3A standards. So there's a difference between the two. Certified is when you take this helmet, let's say, and send it to a legitimate testing facility, and they test it to the T on the NIJ standards. So, and then they give you a certificate, and then you gotta regularly take sample items out of your production line to continuously test for to make sure that it continues to meet your quality standards and NIJ ballistic standards. So it's not a one and done deal like, oh yeah, I tested it 6 years ago, and yeah, so since then, who's to say the helmets are not going to still come out the same quality that they came out 6 years ago? Well, you have to keep sampling that. So that's what that means. Now, when I say meets NIJ standards, I'm saying that with this helmet because I did not, again, honesty, I did not send it off to a lab to get it tested. I tested it myself. And I did not test it with the high velocities that the NIJ standards calls for. Now remember, NIJ is also National Institute of Justice. We're not exactly in the National Institute of Justice, but it's just a method of, I guess, the civilian population to gauge the bulletproofness, even though there's no such thing as bulletproof. It's bullet resistant. So, sorry, I was just losing my track of thought there. Had other things on the line too, but anyways, I apologize for that. But anyways, this helmet's not NIJ certified. It's I'm saying it meets NIJ standards, but again, honestly, I did not test it with a 44 Magnum, and again, not at the higher velocities because I didn't hand load my ammunition like that NIJ standard calls for. So, but It did take the ammunition very effectively, and common ammunition, which was what you would see out in the real world in the event you're in an actual firefight, or you actually had a scenario where you actually had to put it on. But this is what I would wear over Kevlar personally. As I mentioned in one of my other videos, again, being wary about manufacturers that are just lying straight through their teeth, and are playing, worst of all, are playing with your life. It'd be one thing if it was like a vacuum that says, this is a bad context, but I'm going to stick with it. Vacuuming everything, and the battery lasts forever. Okay, well, the battery's garbage. It only lasts 2 minutes. But they're not playing with your life there. When it comes to this stuff, they're playing with your life. So take that into consideration and take that seriously. I'd be disturbed, honest, and I am disturbed. So, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And two, because I just enjoy, I like guns, I like shooting, I like armor, I like things like that. So anyways, so again, one other thing. So Chinese made. This is made in China. Now, let's not fall into the trap of that stigma everybody feels when they hear made in China. I used to fall into that a lot. Not everything made in China is garbage. If you pay for quality, you're going to get quality. If you pay for trash, you're going to get trash. So if you go for the lowest bidder, you're going to get garbage. If you pay for the highest bid, or you ensure the quality is there, you ask the right questions. So there's manufacturers out there. It's like, okay, so where's your where are your ballistic certifications? What ballistics tests have you done on it? Oh, it's NIJ level 3A. Okay, well let me see some kind of documentation. Okay, and then they send you a paper that's in Chinese or what have you, and it says that it was tested with only a Tokarev pistol. Type 54 or Type 51. By the way, that's a Chinese pistol, and don't underestimate that pistol. It's actually pretty legendary in the service world, and I don't want to give you a history lesson here, but it was employed by Russian militaries back in the day, and I'm not sure if it still is, but again, I don't want to get too deep into that, but it's a very potent pistol, being that it's Chinese, just like the Chinese SKS. There's some Chinese stuff that has its good reputations and have seen combat and are combat tested and proven, like the SKS as well, Chinese made by Norinco, and it's seen plenty of service in Vietnam. So there are good things that come from China. Not everything is garbage, but a lot of things are. Okay, so don't misinterpret what I'm saying. So this is tested with a Tokarev Type 54 and Type 51, and with multiple shots is the data that I've got. I've got the chemical composition of the alloy steel and everything. I was asking my questions, and I'm thinking to myself, well, that's not exactly level 3A if all they did, because for NIJ standards, even though it's being advertised as NIJ level 3A again, so watch out. And so I did my own tests, and I'm pretty impressed with its performance, its weight, its thickness. It took the blunt trauma very well. So I wouldn't see myself being stunned from taking a shot to the head with a Kevlar helmet. Or that ultra high. I'd be done with a PE helmet, I'll tell you right now. So I'm not even going to talk about that one. Its weight, its increased weight, it's heavier than a Kevlar helmet. But I'd say that's good. Weight has its benefits because the momentum of that bullet and that energy it's carrying is going to transfer it all in almost like a shock. Like a kick to the head is what it's going to feel in a helmet like this. Picture getting donkey kicked in the head with wearing a motorcycle helmet. You're going to be stunned. You're going to get knocked to the floor. That's what's going to happen when you take a bullet to the head with a PE helmet. Probably dead anyway, because like I said, I already showed you what happens with the bullets hitting that and how much deformation there is, and a level 3 at that one. The Kevlar, when I shot it a few times in my videos, and I'm sure you can see in plenty of other videos how easily the helmet goes flying. So that's basically smashing into your forehead or the side of your head or what have you. Yeah, you've got padding, but it's still a kick to the head. This one, when I was shooting it, it didn't move very much. It took that blunt force very well and absorbed a lot of that blunt force. That's one thing I really liked about it. Now, you will see articles, it's like, well, why doesn't the military use steel if it's so good? Well, here's the thing. It can be a hazard. Because of the spall, but I'm not really concerned about spall. That's just me. Everybody has their own preference. I mean, yeah, spall will do some damage depending on where it goes, but at the same time, I would see myself wearing, I mean, I'm not going to be wearing short sleeves at t-shirt. Sorry, my video cut off while I was talking about spall. I hit the 20-minute limit on there, but Yeah, so I was saying that I wasn't going to be wearing a short sleeve shirt and shorts when if I was out in some kind of combat scenario. So, but there are sleeves out there that are rated for cut resistant and would probably help with spall if you were that concerned. That I would probably wear anyway, just because of the protection it offers. But anyways, pants, thick canvas type cargo pants is what I would like to wear. But yeah, so anyways, I'm really excited to, just to end everything, really excited to bring these mandibles to the table. Not this. This is that fiberglass garbage I was talking about, again, with scandalous people out there that would try to rip you off and just don't care for your safety. If this took a bullet, you'd be eating that bullet because it's going to go right through. But like I was saying, I'm going to make AR 600 steel mandibles, and I'm going to play with it a little bit because I know 1/4 inch is going to be a little heavy, but again, I'm not really too concerned for the weight being because of the protection it offers. But I will probably play with a thinner variation just to see how it handles, and a couple different variations of mandibles that could be attached to these steel helmets, and then also while I'm at it, see about improving the padding. Not that it would really need it, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt. So, so yeah, as soon as I get things going with those ballistic mandibles, I'll be putting out some information and then hopefully showing some videos on its testing and all that good stuff, so you guys can see what I'm playing with. And again, I'm here to deliver. I'm not going to be feeding people a bunch of lies. I'm going to be concerned more for people's safety first off, and then two, the honesty I'm going to bring to the table to you guys. So, so yeah, that's all I've got for now. So I look forward to talking to you guys soon in another video. Thank you.